the top one. So, this is me. Nice to meet you. But let me introduce myself a little bit better. As you may already know, I'm the second lightest element of the periodic table. I'm second only to hydrogen. My atomic number is 2, which means I have 2 protons in my nucleus. I prefer to stay in my gaseous form, and I only melt at minus 278 degrees Celsius. Unless a pressure of 25 atmospheres or more is applied to me. Therefore, I remain liquid even at absolute zero, thanks to the effects of quantum mechanics, which characterizes my structure and dynamic properties. I am also a superfluid element. I can flow through capillaries and around obstacles without any friction, as in a perpetual motion. I'm also the second most abundant element in the whole universe. To live, a star burns hydrogen, thus creating me, thanks to nuclear fusion. Nuclear fusion is a nuclear reaction that consists of the union of 2 nuclei of light atoms in a new heavy atom. It is called fusion precisely for this reason. The 2 nuclei are fused together. It is the inverse process of nuclear fission in a certain way, which is instead the process used in nuclear power plants to produce energy. Fission consists in breaking the nucleus of an atom, a radioactive one, and usually it is used uranium, thus releasing energy. In nuclear fusion, instead, 2 atoms of hydrogen are brought closer together in a space small enough to allow the force of nuclear attraction to prevail over magnetic repulsion. The nuclei of the 2 hydrogen atoms fuse together, giving rise to an atom of helium and freeing outwards a high amount of energy. Einstein's famous formula, E equals mc squared, that, let's be honest, everybody knows at this point, basically describes precisely the relation hydrogen plus hydrogen equals helium plus a lot of energy. Namely, the sum of the masses of 2 hydrogen atoms is less than the mass of a single helium atom. That missing piece of the relation that makes it an equation is just the energy being released. In particular, that amount of energy released by the nuclear fusion is, as Einstein said, as much as the variation of mass from the end to the beginning of the process times the square of the speed of light. In fact, joules equals Newton per meters, so it becomes this, which can be written as this. So we can confirm that the equation E equals mc squared makes sense. But anyway, I don't live just on the stars. I'm also on lots and lots of planets, even on your moon, which is actually not a planet but a satellite, but satellites are basically just small planets, so anyway, on Earth is different. Slowly I'm running out, and I won't be able to renew myself anytime soon. In fact, I'm one of the lots of elements that is a completely non-renewable resource. You need to know that I don't form with nuclear fusion only. In fact, on Earth, I've been generated deep underground through natural radioactive decay of elements such as uranium and thorium. A radioactive decay of chemical elements is exactly the inverse process of nuclear fusion. The difference with nuclear fission is that radioactive decay is natural and spontaneous, while fission's not. Through nuclear fusion, elements gradually transform into heavier elements, and this is possible as the temperature increases. With radioactive decay, they gradually break down into lighter elements. This is how every chemical element forms from hydrogen, and vice versa. I'm not a fossil fuel, but in terms of managing me, you should be treating me as one of them. It takes many millennia to make the quantity of helium that is here on Earth. Helium seeps up through the Earth's crust and gets trapped in pockets of natural gas, where it can be extracted thanks to a low-temperature separation process called fractional distillation. In some natural gas fields, helium is also found along with methane, which is separated and sold separately. First, a problem is that extraction is the only way to find me. In fact, I'm lighter than the air itself, and not even the Earth's gravity can hold me. Another problem, however, is that for many uses I'm dispersed in the atmosphere, so I escape from it, and I end up dispersing myself in the cosmos. I'm so rare on Earth that a French researcher discovered my existence by studying the sun. But don't despair too much. Recent studies suggest that the helium produced deep in the ground by radioactive decay is able to collect in natural gas reservoirs in higher doses than expected, and that in some cases can also be released from volcanic activity. This doesn't justify an only oxygen-free though. The state of emergency is still present, and it is estimated that it will be gone as early as in 2040. Anyway, you could ask yourself, where I'm most abundant here on Earth? Well, during an oil drilling in 1903 in Kansas, was found a gaseous geyser composed of nitrogen for 72%, methane for 15%, hydrogen for 1%, and 12% of unidentified gas. Thanks to subsequent analysis, Hamilton Cady and David McFarlane discovered that 1.94% of the sample was helium. This showed that, despite its scarcity on Earth, helium was concentrated in large quantities under the US Great Plains, available for extraction as a byproduct of natural gas. Currently, 90% of the helium marketed on Earth comes from just 3 countries: the United States, Algeria, and Qatar. So these are the places where you can find me more easily here on Earth. But who does need me more in the world? Well, the world helium market has few but large buyers. The USA with Airgas and Praxair, Germany with Linde Massey Group, France with Air Liquide, in addition to Gazprom's large Russian project for the production of helium from natural gas in the Amur region of Siberia, relatively close on the border with China. Overall, however, I'm needed all over the world. Most of the people think I'm useful just to blow up balloons, but actually I'm essential for much more important things, such as vital medical or technological devices. Precisely for this reason, I shouldn't be wasted at all. I'm impossible to replace. For example, MRI machines have stable and intense magnetic fields that are produced by superconducting magnets. Well, these are immersed in a liquid helium bath that is indispensable for their cooling. Do you remember, in fact, when I told you that I'm the only chemical element that can reach absolute zero remaining liquid? I'm a great source for cooling. Then, I'm used for increasing the oxygen therapy's performance as it spread very easily in gaseous mixtures. Together with oxygen, I form heliox, a helium-oxygen mixture that, thanks to my contribution, is able to spread even in the narrowest peripheral districts of the human body, so as to bring oxygen to all cells, even the most difficult one to reach. I'm also using anesthesia and for many cryogenic applications. Last but not least, I mix, along with oxygen and other gases, into diverse respirators because they can reduce the danger of gas embolism during deep dives. Moreover, I'm regularly found also in other technologies, such as LCD screens and other optical fibers, quantum computers, and fuel tanks for missiles. Therefore, I'm used in a wide variety of contexts, from medical technologies to nuclear reactors to airships. In conclusion, I'm essential. In order not to run out of helium in the coming years, important efforts and investments will be needed for the research and exploitation of new helium fields. It is a mix between recovery and elimination of waste. Recovery is difficult, but not impossible. It's enough to collect the vapor of helium from the various cryogenic tanks of the superconducting magnets to really do a good job. Indeed, this recovery gas can be compressed and liquefied again directly on the spot. Furthermore, an increase in the price could play an important role in encouraging recovery and reduction of waste. Or alternatively, you can just give up and get used to a world without helium. A world without me. Thank you for your attention.